Welcome to Mental Models Daily, where we explore one mental model each day to help you elevate your daily decision-making. Today, we're unraveling a fascinating cognitive bias that often leads us astray: the clustering illusion. The clustering illusion, also known as the streak fallacy, is our tendency to see patterns in random events where none actually exist. It's our brain's overzealous pattern recognition system working overtime, finding order in chaos, even when that order is purely coincidental. Think of it as your mind playing connect the dots with stars in the night sky. You might see constellations, but those stars are actually spread across vast distances in three-dimensional space. The concept of the clustering illusion was popularized by statistician Thomas Gilovich and others in the 1980s. Their work showed how our minds are primed to see streaks and clusters, even in completely random data. It's like our brains are constantly trying to write narratives, even when we're just looking at static on a TV screen. This illusion is a byproduct of our evolutionary need to quickly identify patterns for survival. In a world where a cluster of rustling leaves might indicate a predator, our brains evolved to err on the side of caution and see patterns everywhere. It's like having an overactive smoke detector in your mind. Better to have a few false alarms than miss a real fire. Let's consider an example. Imagine you're playing roulette and you notice the ball has landed on red 5 times in a row. You might feel that black is due to come up next, or that red is on a hot streak. This is the clustering illusion in action. In reality, each spin is independent, and the probability remains the same, regardless of previous outcomes. It's like expecting a coin to land on heads after a string of tails. The coin doesn't have a memory. In the business world, the clustering illusion can lead to flawed decision-making in areas like stock market analysis, sales forecasting, or performance evaluation. A company might see a trend in a few months of sales data and make significant decisions based on this perceived pattern, when in fact it's just random fluctuation. It's like mistaking the ripples on a pond for a map of future market movements. So, how can we apply awareness of the clustering illusion in our daily lives? Firstly, it encourages us to be more skeptical of perceived patterns, especially in small data sets. Before jumping to conclusions about trends or streaks, we should ask ourselves if we have enough data to support our perception. It's like being a detective who doesn't convict based on circumstantial evidence alone. Secondly, in decision-making scenarios, understanding the clustering illusion can help us avoid overreacting to short-term fluctuations. Whether in business strategy, personal finance, or any other domain, we should be wary of making big decisions based on small samples. It's like learning to distinguish between the signal and the noise in a complex system. Lastly, awareness of this illusion can make us more critical consumers of information. When we see claims about patterns or trends, especially in fields like sports, gambling, or the stock market, we should approach them with healthy skepticism. It's like having a built-in fact checker that asks, is this a real pattern or just random clustering? In conclusion, the clustering illusion serves as a powerful reminder of our brain's tendency to seek patterns, even where none exist. By understanding this mental model, we can become more rational decision makers, better analysts of data, and more discerning consumers of information. In a world awash with data and claims of trends, the ability to distinguish real patterns from illusory ones is more valuable than ever. Thank you for joining me today on Mental Models Daily. I hope this exploration of the clustering illusion hasn't left you doubting every pattern you see. Remember, some patterns are real and meaningful. The key is developing the wisdom to know the difference. Until next time, may your pattern recognition be accurate and your skepticism healthy. For more mental models, please visit mentalmodelsdaily.com or find us on X or Instagram. Our podcast music was provided by the podcasthost.com and Alitu, the podcast maker. Find your own free podcast music over at the podcasthost.com.